My greetings to everyone. I am Professor Namita Rajput, Professor in Department of Commerce, Sri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. In the ongoing series of entrepreneurship and new venture planning, today we are going to discuss a very important topic called organization structure and the human resource management for a new enterprise. So let's dwell into this. Now coming on to what is a new enterprise? A new enterprise refers to a business that has recently started operations. It can range from a small home-based business to a technology startup or even a new branch of an existing company in a new market. Now, these enterprises are in their early stages and primarily focus on setting up of their structure, acquiring resources and gaining initial customers. The success of a new enterprise depends on its ability to innovate, adapt, grow in a competitive market. Now, we will be discussing few features with examples. The first and the foremost is innovation and creativity. New business often succeed because they introduce the fresh ideas or the unique solutions to the market problems. For example, Oyo Rooms started by offering the budget hotel accommodations with the standardized quality and something that was missing in India's hospitality industry. Then we have Swiggy, which simplified the food delivery by creating a strong logistics systems. The second important feature is a limited resources. Most new enterprises start with a very limited capital, manpower and technology. They need to make the best use of what they have. For example, bootstrap startups. Many small business they start by using the personal savings and the free tools before seeking the investors. For example, Zoho initially focused on low cost development before becoming a SaaS giant. Now, the third important feature of these new enterprises is the high risk and uncertainty. There is always a risk of failure because of the competition, because of the changing customer preferences or the regulatory issues. For example, the Snapdeal faced the huge challenges competing with Amazon and the Flipkart, showing how difficult survival can be in the competitive market. The startups during the COVID-19 had to pivot their models quickly or shut down. The next important feature we will be talking about is the flexibility and adaptability. New enterprises must adapt quickly to actually the trends, the technology and the customer needs. For example, during COVID-19, many restaurants shifted to online delivery models to survive. Byju's evolved from offline tutoring to a fully online learning apps when the edtech boom started. The next we have the growth orientation. The primary goal of a new enterprise is expansion and acquiring more customers. For example, Zomato started as a food review platform and later expanded into food delivery and the global markets. Then we have Paytm, which grew from mobile recharge app to a full-fledged payment ecosystem. The next important feature is entrepreneurial leadership. New enterprises are often driven by the visionary leaders who take the risk and make the bold decisions. For example, Elon Musk with Tesla and the SpaceX took high risk to introduce the electric cars and the private space exploration. In India, Ritesh Agarwal, Oyo, started at 19 and revolutionized the hospitality sector. Then we have the customer focus as the new feature. The new business must prioritize the customer satisfaction to build the trust and the loyalty. For example, Amazon early success came from its relentless focus on the customer service and the quick delivery. Nykaa attracted the local customers by offering the authentic beauty products and the excellent services. Next, we have the scalability potential. New enterprises often plan their structure so that they can grow quickly when demand increases. For example, Flipkart, they started as an online bookstore, but they scaled up a multi-category e-commerce giant. Then we have Uber, which started in one city but had a scalable app-based model to expand globally. The ninth important feature of the new enterprise, as far as the HRM is concerned, is the lean structure. They typically have very fewer management layers, which allows the quick decisions and cost efficiency. The number of the layers in this is quite substantially less. Let's take an example. The startups usually have a very small team where the role overlap. For example, marketing head also handling the customer support. The tech startups like Ola initially had a lean team working in a shared office spaces before scaling up. Now let's talk about the importance of a new enterprise. The new enterprises are very crucial to the growth of the economy and the society because they drive innovation, provide employability, and stimulate the competition. Their role extends far beyond the profit making and they transform the industries, improve the living standards, and promote the regional developments. The first is the creation of jobs and employment opportunities. One of the most significant contributors of the new enterprise is the generation of employment. When the new business starts, they require the workers for the production, administration, sales, and the marketing. Now, this provides the job opportunities for both the skilled and the unskilled individuals, basically reducing the unemployment and improving the income levels in the community. Let's see the impact. The first is your direct employment. Hiring staff for day-to-day operations like manufacturing, marketing, and customer service. The indirect employment, that is engaging the suppliers, logistic companies, and the service providers to support the business. For example, the Flipkart began as an online bookstore but rapidly expanded to the multiple categories, creating thousands of jobs in the warehousing, delivery, and the customer support. Then we have the OYO rooms, provided employment for the thousands of people, including the hotel staff, customer service agents, and the technical support teams. Then we have the introduction of the new ideas and the innovations. The new enterprises often emerge because an innovative idea or an improved way of meeting the customer needs. They bring in creative business models, advanced technologies, and the unique products or the services that improve the efficiency and the customer satisfaction. This innovation promotes the healthy competition, compelling the existing business to upgrade their products and the services. For example, Swiggy and Byju's. Let's dwell them in detail. When you talk about Swiggy, it introduced a real-time order tracking and efficient food delivery logistics, starting a new benchmark in India's food delivery sector. You talk about the Byju's revolutionized education by introducing the interactive learning through videos and gamified lessons, replacing the traditional classroom limitations. The third and the most important is economic growth and development. New enterprises enhance the economic development by increasing the overall production of the goods and the services. They contribute to the gross domestic product, that is GDP, generate the tax revenues for the government and promote the organized sector of the economy. Furthermore, they attract the investments both domestic and foreign, thus improving the financial stability. For example, startups in India have boosted the digital economy, particularly in fintech and e-commerce. The success of Paytm and PhonePe in promoting a UPI, that is Unified Payment Interface, has significantly reduced the cash transactions, increasing the transparency and the tax collection. Now, Tesla not only introduced the electric vehicles but also stimulated the renewable energy industry, contributing to the US economy. Now, providing the diverse choices to the customers. When the new business enter the market, they increase the competition, leading to a wider range of choices for the customers, and the customers benefit from the better price, improved quality and personalized services. Now, the diversity in the offerings encourages the company to continuously upgrade their products and maintain the competitive pricing. For example, e-commerce giant like Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, they provide the customers with the thousands of product options across the various categories. The food delivery apps like Zomato and Swiggy, they offer a range of cuisines and the restaurant options, improving the convenience for the consumers. Next, we have the regional and the community development. New enterprises often they set up the operations in less developed or the rural areas, creating the opportunities for the local communities. They invest in the infrastructure, provide training to the local talent and use locally sourced material, leading to a balanced regional growth. This also prevents the migration to the big cities as the people find employment in their hometowns. For example, textile startups in Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, they utilize the local artisans and the handloom workers, giving them a steady income while preserving the traditional crafts. The IT companies in Bangalore and the Hyderabad, they transform these cities into a global tech hubs, promoting the regional infrastructure development and increasing real estate value. Now, coming on to the conclusions about this particular point, the new enterprises are the lifeblood of an economy. They not only provide the jobs and bringing the new ideas, but also foster a healthy competition, enhance the customer choices and also drive the innovation. Their contribution goes beyond the business. They promote economic stability, the social progress and the regional development. By encouraging the enterprise and sustainability, new enterprises they lay the foundation for a thriving modern economy. Supporting and maturing them is vital for a long-term growth and prosperity. Now, let's do the organization structure. The organization structure and the human resource management, they play a fundamental role in ensuring the success of any new enterprise. There has to be a well-defined structure, very clearly defining the authority, responsibility, communication channels within the company. Similarly, effective human resource management ensures that the right people are hired, right people are retained, right people are motivated to achieve the organizational goals. So, together they form the backbone of a business and create the environment which is necessary for the growth and the long-term success. Let's take the definition of the organization. Organization refers to the process of creating the structural relationship among the individuals so that they can work together effectively and achieve both the organizational goals and the personal satisfaction under the given conditions. It involves planning, roles, responsibilities and the work flows in a way that facilitates the efficiency and collaboration. Now, let's do the definition part of the organizational structure. Now, coming on to its definition, it is the formal framework or the pattern of authority, responsibility and the communication that the management designs to coordinate the activities and link individuals or the groups in achieving the organizational goals. In simpler terms, it answers these questions: who reports to whom and what task should each person perform? How is communication handled between the different levels and between the different departments? Now, coming on to the importance of organization structure in a new enterprise. First and the foremost is about the clarity of the roles and responsibility. A clear structure helps the employees understand their duties, authority, and accountability. This avoids the confusion and also the conflict. Let's take an example here as far as the organization structure is concerned. In a startup, defining who handles the marketing, finance, operations, ensuring a smooth functioning. Improved communication. The proper structure establishes a clear communication channel, enabling the information to flow effectively across all levels. Then we have a team leader reports to the manager, who reports to the CEO, Chief Executing Officer, ensuring that all the decisions are properly conveyed. Then we have efficient decision making. When the chain of command is very clear, decisions can be made faster and implemented without delay. For example, a small business with a flat structure can quickly approve the changes in pricing or the strategy. Then we have coordination among the departments. Different functions. If you talk about production, marketing, finance, and HR, they need coordination for the business to operate smoothly. For example, marketing must inform the production about the upcoming demand to avoid the shortages. Then we have the growth and the scalability. A proper structure makes it easier for a business to grow, add new teams, or expand operations without confusion. For example, tech companies often start with a flat structure and gradually move to a functional or a divisional structure as they expand. Now, coming on to a very pertinent part called types of organization structure. For a new enterprises, choosing the right structure is very, very critical. The common type includes the functional structure. Employees are grouped based on the functions like marketing, finance, and production. For example, a small manufacturing unit has separate teams for the production, sales, and accounts. Divisional structure, like the company is divided based on the products, services, or regions. For example, a clothing brand with divisions for men's wear, women's wear, and the kids' wear. Then we have the matrix structure, that is combining the functional and the project based structures, and the employees report to both a functional manager and a project manager. For example, IT companies often use matrix structure for managing the projects across the different domains. Then we have the flat structure, few or no levels of middle management, promotes the quick competition, communication, and flexibility. For example, early stage startups usually adopt the flat structures. Then we have a role of human resource management in the organization structure. HRM complements the organization structure by recruiting and selecting the right talent for each role, providing training and development for the skill improvement, motivating employees through performance appraisals and incentives, aligning individual goals with the organizational goals, building a positive work environment to retain the employees. And when you talk about the conclusion about this particular point is that the organization structure provides the framework within which a new enterprise operates, ensuring the clarity, efficiency and accountability. The human resource management, they add value by placing the right people in the right position and fostering an environment that motivates and retains the talent. Together, they form a strong foundation for the enterprise to grow sustainably and achieve a long-term success. Without an effective structure and HR strategy, even the most innovative business ideas can fail due to miscommunication, lack of coordination, and employee dissatisfaction. So, this was all about this part of the lecture, and thank you very much.